The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre.
We're joined by Nathan in the studio this morning. Nathan's one of the guests down at Dooralong Transformation Centre. So good morning to you, Nathan.
Morning, Phil.
We're going to find out about Nathan's journey, and let's start at the beginning, I suppose. You're in Erina now. Where are you originally from, Nathan?
I was born in Adelaide, and I grew up at New Wallenby, Buckety.
All right.
Up in the sticks there.
Yeah. So a local lad, really.
Yeah.
How old were you when you came to the Central Coast?
I was still a baby.
Oh, yeah. So you don't remember much of Adelaide.
No.
So you grew up on the Central Coast. You went to school here.
Yeah, up at Encore Primary.
Yeah. What was school life like for you?
Yeah, it was all right. Bit of bullying and stuff like that, and what I can remember of it.
Yeah. And home life, good?
Yeah, not particularly.
No?
Yeah, just drugs in the house and stuff like that, and yeah.
So the temptation was there from a very early age then?
No, not really. Just so a lot of fear growing up and stuff like that, and confusion. I had a young mother and stuff. I just think when I started to realise that I think back now, I had anxiety and fear back then, and when I turned to the drink, and it made me feel like I still didn't feel like I fitted in, but made it easier to accept when I didn't, and just kind of numbed me to it,
And sort of what age are we talking, Nathan?
14.
14, that's when you started alcohol, was it?
Yeah, smoking marijuana and drinking, and
yeah, and it made you feel good?
Yeah, well, just, I don't know, it's still the same thing that most addicts say, we didn't fit in, and I was just thinking about it, like I remember being down at the nightclub at Gosford there, I still was drunk really off my face, and I still feel like I was different as well, and like I was saying, it just made it easier to accept if I was off my face that I was different,
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So you were drinking, you just, like you say, you didn't fit in. Did you make friends easily or not?
Yeah, the mask that I put on, like the Joker and the funny guy, and it just made it be able to fit in, but it wasn't me. It still didn't feel right. You
were just playing a role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't you.
Yeah, I guess I just thought having my father leave and stuff early, and I thought I'd act like the older boys, and the drugs and stuff, and yeah, it never, and fighting and carrying on, it still never felt right,
No, just trying to be cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and this carried on into sort of adolescence, did it?
Yeah, I just progressed up the chain, and I think I picked the needle up about 16, 17, and just give the amphetamines a whirl, and they took me to some bad places as well,
So you've tried the drink, or you're still doing the drink? You're on marijuana, and now you're on sort of amphetamines?
Yeah, so I'm just pretty lost, just trying to find something, and just, it was pretty messy, and
Yeah. What was life like for you? Doesn't sound very nice. It doesn't sound a very enjoyable life.
Nah, the lifestyle was horrible. Just empty kind of thing, and just still not fitting in, and just trying to find out why, and just trying to numb the pain of why you don't, you're disconnecting and slowly drifting from your family, and it's just not a good lifestyle.
Yeah, that not fitting in and finding out who you are, that sounds as if it's been a really big driver behind all the drug taking and the alcohol.
Yeah.
I suppose, I don't know, I was going to say, would things be different today, but you do wonder perhaps if somebody at school, a school counsellor or somebody would have picked that up and got you some counselling, life might have turned out very different for you.
Yeah, I guess, if they can kind of pinpoint it, but you kind of hide it, like you're pretty conditioned to hide your fears and not, you shut down, and
especially for a young guy, nobody likes admitting that they're vulnerable, and it's just not the done thing for young guys.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're masking it, you're carrying on, you're drinking, and you're working now, are you?
Yeah, I was working up at Peteridge there, and just on a farm up there, and just going out on the weekends, and I was shooting up over the weekends and going to work, still with no sleep, and it was just not eating and stuff, and still drinking and smoking.
Living at home?
I was living at my father's at the time, which is pretty unstable there, and just not a good environment.
Did family see what was happening? Could they?
The same thing. They just want to give you the benefit of the doubt and think you're all right, but inside you're not.
I think it's just a phase you're going through. You'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
Did you know, even at that very early stage, that this was more than a phase? That this was, really a potentially life-threatening situation?
No, you don't, Phil, because you look at other people when they use drugs and they can stop, and you think that's how it's meant to be, like that's who I chose to look up to, was people that did the same thing, and it's hard to explain like that, you just keep going and going, and still got that empty feeling, and you're still trying to numb it through the drug use, and just goes on and on and on.
Do you like yourself at this stage?
Yeah, I'm getting better with myself.
Yeah. No, at that stage, did you like yourself?
Nah, Phil, it was a bad thing. Self-esteem was low by the choices I could tell I was making at the times, And
sounds like you were just taking the drugs to hide from something.
It's fear, all fear. Fear to look in and see what was going on within me,
And look, I know from what you were telling me earlier, before we came on air, that it isn't just drugs, there's some other issues as well. Addictive issues that you have as well?
Just like the polyaddict and stuff, like gambling and stuff.
Gambling. So that was in the mix now as a young man. It's alcohol, drugs, gambling.
Yeah, so I remember just that feeling you get when you work all week for that, and I was getting good money at the time. So I worked 6 days all week, hard work, and then you're sick half of it because you've been using drugs and alcohol, and then just to put in a poker machine, and then it's gone within half an hour, and then it's a horrible hollow feeling.
And then there's a lot of self-loathing and sort of self-haters that you just put a week's wages through the pokers.
Yeah, and all the other stuff. You can't pay your rent and stuff like that, so you're continually chasing your tail, just manipulating money out of people to pay this and pay that, credit cards and stuff,
I was just going to ask, once you put your wages through the pokies and they're gone, where do you get the money to carry on for the rest of the week?
Yeah, get credit cards and start paying that to pay that. It's just stressful, very stressful.
Yeah, and it's just vicious circles, and you're just spiralling downwards.
Yep.
Yeah, not a happy time in your life.
No, definitely not.
No. You're listening to 94.9, and we're back with Nathan. Before that break for the music, Nathan was telling us that he grew up here on the coast, but from a very early age he just had this feeling that he didn't fit in, and sort of to help with that feeling, that fear really, he's turned to drugs, he's turned to alcohol, and he seems to have a bit of an addictive sort of personality. There's gambling in the mix now, and it's not a good time in your life, is it, Nathan?
No, Phil.
No. And how long did this last? How many years were you living like this?
I had breaks of sobriety there, but it's just, I think back now, and I'd do something else too excessive, like training and stuff, but I was still just an angry person, and eventually I'd pick up the drugs again,
Yeah, and what sort of effect is this having, not just on you, but your family?
Yeah, they still give me the benefit of the doubt, but they know, you got just behaviours, angry and just disconnecting from the family, you can tell the way they look at you and stuff like that, and they know something's not right.
Yeah. So it's not a good relationship with your mum and your dad?
I've asked them recently now, and they thought I was gambling actually, because you've got the unexplained money and that, you're working heaps and you've got nothing to show for it, but they never suspected that I was using heaps of drugs and stuff like that,
Probably didn't want to. Probably frightened for you on your behalf. Yeah. What was the lowest point in all this time? If somebody said to you, what was the worst time for you?
This year actually, I think, just dependent on the OxyContin and shooting it up and just not eating and disconnect from family. I just had no life at all. It was a horrible feeling, not knowing if I can gonna wake up or staying in my car. And I was at the boat ramp there, and Mum come down, and
So you were living in your car?
yeah, a couple of days here and there, and then I'd go home to Mum's, but it was just she wouldn't talk to me, and just was like walking on eggshells. She couldn't say anything. I'd just get angry, and just it was very.
So your life was, a couple of days a week at least, you were living in your car. You're not eating properly?
No.
Not looking after yourself?
No.
You're just going down and down and down. Yeah. Arguing with Mum, arguing with those people that are trying to help you.
Yeah.
And from that lowest point in your life, and that was only this year, you say, earlier this year. Yeah. What about the climb out of that really bad time? When did you sort of think to yourself, I can't do this on my own, I need help?
Yeah, I was just sitting down the boat ramp at the waterfront, and I'd had a shot, and I just went on the blink, and I woke up to Mum looking through the car window, and blood running down my arm, and just seeing a heartbreak, and I thought, something has to change here, I can't hurt her anymore, and just rang the detox and Dooralong and got in there, and that become something to aim at, I hope to get in there, and just I had a date, and that was enough just to keep me going, and
That's a pretty powerful picture you painted there of you in the car. You've shot it with the OxyContin. There's sort of blood dribbling down your arm, and your mum's banging on the car window. And, that's probably a memory that's going to live with you for the rest of your life, isn't it? So you get in touch with detox place in Wyong, did you say? Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, I got in there pretty about 20 kilos lighter than I am, and just very sick. So I detoxed in there for, I think it was 6 days, and then got out to Dooralong, which I was still pretty sick, and just anxiety, and it was bad times, but it was getting better,
Had you heard of Dooralong? Did somebody recommend them to you?
I think it was on the internet. I found it and was reading a couple of stories on there, and I just worked out that I ended up there,
Yeah. What did you think as you were driving down the valley that first time?
No, just apprehensive, I guess, and just full of anxiety, different to what I'm used to. I'm used to isolation and getting in there, and it's
quite confronting then.
Yeah, but just when you get in there and meet some of the people and you can relate to their stories, it relaxes you, you're with your people kind of thing.
With your people, so people like yourself who are struggling and
addicts,
So there's no judgment from anybody.
No, you can just relate. They can relate to you, and you can relate to them through the stories they tell you.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a cocoon there, isn't it? Which it needs to be. Whilst you get yourselves better.
Yeah, it's safe.
It's safe. Yeah. So your first few days at Dooralong, did you think I made a mistake, or no, this is it, definitely the right place?
Yeah, well, I just looked to where if I leave here, I was pretty sick, I knew what was back out there for me, I had to get better.
Yeah. I don't think you'll mind, Nathan, if I tell listeners, because you were telling me earlier that this is your second time at Dooralong. The first time you spent, was it just 2.5 months?
Yeah, 2.5 months.
Which is a very short period of time, and then you left, and it didn't turn out good.
No.
Why do you think that is?
Just like I was saying to you, the behavioural issues that I was hiding and the character I had formed over the last 21 years in addiction, it's not long enough. 2.5 months, it's only just starting to uncover some of them behaviour issues, it's the stuff that I have to unlearn that I've learnt, it just doesn't go away in that short a time,
So you left too soon?
Yeah.
Because of course it's not a prison or anything, you can just walk out of the gate anytime you want.
Yeah.
So after 2.5 months you thought, I'm okay, I'm cured.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, I got out there and instantly I felt that disconnection again, and I wasn't doing meetings, and I knew I was going to fail. I could feel it, and just I lasted 4 days, and then I picked up again, just disconnected again, and away I went again.
So you were 4 days clean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you ring Dooralong, do you, or do you just?
I stayed out there for I think nearly 10 months, just declining and just got to the point, like I was telling you, at the boat ramp, and it was just enough, rock bottom.
So you didn't go back straight away?
No, I had the pride going on, I can't go back, and I had a partner at the time, and all that stress and stuff.
There's guilt there, I've let them down, I can't go back.
That's the feeling, just lying to yourself, to try and stop you going in.
But then you decided, give it another go.
Yeah.
So what's different for you this second time around?
Just the calm I get in there from God. I'm a lot calmer, and like I was saying, it's the people around you as they're getting better and accepting God into their lives, and just something in it, connecting with the same people, and connection and friends. It's real in there, They've got outside in addiction. The friends I have are just trying to use you, manipulate you for drugs or whatever. It's the same as I do to them, but in there's nothing to use and manipulate. It's friends. Because we can be friends,
Sounds as if in there you find the peace and the calm that you were really searching for when you're on the outside, but it's in Dooralong that you're finding that peace and calm.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So how long, this is your second time round, how long have you been there now?
5.5 months.
Right, so that's twice as long as your first visit to Dooralong. Yeah. And you've probably got another 5.5 months maybe, halfway through.
Yeah.
And it's working out a lot better for you, isn't it? It's great.
I'm in a good place.
You're in a good place, we haven't talked, we'll have a break for some music and then we will talk about it, but we haven't talked yet about your faith. You've mentioned God and how important He is to you. I think what we'll do is we'll break for some music, we'll come back and we'll talk about how God has made an appearance in your life and how He's made a change in your life. We're talking to Nathan this morning from Dooralong Transformation Centre. We've talked about his visits, in the plural, to Dooralong, and how this present visit is going really well. First one, not so well, but he's been much more open and much more serious about it the second time round, and it's been there 5.5 months, and things are looking positive, so that's good. And one of the things that you're positive about, Nathan, is the God thing. When you first got to Dooralong, what did you think about the God thing?
Yeah, it was just heaps negative towards it, and I didn't understand it, and just shut my mind down to it, and and a lot of stresses from outside. I couldn't stop and relax and just watch and listen,
So you go to chapel night, but you didn't sort of actively take part in it. You're just there in body, but not spirit.
Yeah, I'd sit up the back and just talk and carry on and just not feel what was going on in there,
Yeah. And now?
Yeah, I get up the front and go up for prayer and stuff, and it's really. There's something in there, and you can feel it when you can stop and listen to it,
So what made the change? From sitting at the back, sort of, messing around with your mobile phone, although of course you can't get reception on the back row, but what's made the change that, you're once at the back of the church messing around, and now you're up front going for prayer?
Yeah, the people feel.
The
people also have God in their life. You just watch and listen to them and feel what they're doing, and
they encouraged you?
Just by how they are, you can just how at peace they are with themselves. And
it's like they're on something, they've got something that you'd like some of what they're on.
Yeah, and all you have to do is just open your mind, I guess, and it opens up by watching them, how much peace they got.
So you sort of just gave it a go, like, was that the attitude, I'll see what this is all about?
Just turned up, Phil.
Just turn up, yeah. And so where would you say you are in that walk with God at the moment? How important is God and prayer and the spirituality in your life?
Yeah, I get the spirituality. I get a lot of the connecting with people, like-minded people. We do prayer as well. Like a couple of my friends in there, we do prayer. And I guess coming from a background, it was all fear and stuff like that. It was one of my fears is talking you know, in front of people, and I guess reaching into my heart and speaking how I actually feel. You know, it was one of my fears. You know, I put all these barriers up. You know, but to be able to do that in a group of other, you know, men, it's humbling. You know, and to actually put your head down and say things you know you care about and stuff. It's just it works for me. You know.
And to admit that you need help, you can't do it all on your own. Yeah.
And coming from where I just used to create that character where I'm just don't need any help or nothing like that. It's really, it works for me, Phil.
Yeah. You go to church, do you?
Yeah.
Which church do you go to?
I'm out at Tugger there. Tugger. Yeah.
What's the name?
Tugger Core at Campbell there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
So there's a group of you perhaps from Dooralong that go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you enjoy that?
I love it, it's great.
Yeah. What are they doing for Christmas? Anything special?
No, just this service on the Sunday, but last weekend we helped them, a couple of me and my friends helped them with the carols out there at Dean Park at Campbell. It was a good day, you know.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it,
And tonight, of course, it's Wednesday, so it's chapel night.
Yeah.
So you'll be there?
Yeah.
Up the front this time?
Yeah. That'll be great. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
And what are your plans for Christmas? Will you still be at Dooralong?
Yeah, I'll be at Dooralong. I spoke to Mum. I'm going to go home and spend the day there, and see how we go there, and just catch up with my father, and spend time with my sisters and my nieces and nephews.
Yeah, which will be nice, but I can imagine it also be a bit sort of scary because, you know, Christmas parties, there's drink going to be there, isn't there?
Yeah, like we spoke about, Phil. Just the type of person I am. If I'll just go there for an hour. I don't want to. If there's drinking there, I just don't want them to have to change it just for me, kind of thing. You know, if it's unsafe, I can just go elsewhere. You know, and Mum will understand. And I've got a pretty good relationship with her, where I'm honest with her and can tell her, you know, Mum, if there's drinking, I'll have to go. I'll spend some time with her, but I'll have to go, and she understands. And, it's a good relationship now that we have.
Yeah. Well, look, Nathan, we hope you have a good Christmas with Mum and the family. When was the last time you had a really sort of traditional Christmas, the whole family together? Can you remember?
Every year for the last 10 I've just been off me head, Phil, and I'm just really sick. So I can't really remember actually being in the moment there with them. I'm looking forward to it.
So this could be a really special Christmas for you. And I know you've got young nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
It'll be nice for them to see Uncle Nathan.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Look, Nathan, we just hope that you do have a good Christmas with your family, that it is safe for you. We, of course, pray God's blessing on you and upon your life, and just thank Him that He has sort of directed you to Dooralong, and that He will continue to direct you as you journey that time at Dooralong and afterwards as well. So, thanks for coming in, Nathan. Thanks for being honest with us. Take our Christmas greetings back to everybody at Dooralong.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.